Honourable members, I have to announce that I have received a message from the Excellency, the Governor General, dated 31st July 2025, recommending the expenditure of public monies of Papua New Guinea in accordance with Section 210 of the Constitution, insofar as the bill relates to and provides for such expenditure. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I ask leave of the Parliament to move the third reading forthwith.
Is leave granted? Leave granted. Minister for Community Development and Youth.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the bill be now read a third time.
The member for above.
Thank you, Mr. Assistant Speaker. I'll be very short in support of the bill. Congratulations, Minister and Prime Minister, for this important bill. But I'd like to make 4 recommendations for immediate action, apart from the issues that the Honourable Member for Sinasina Yangon has raised with regards to the long-term planning of roads and buildings and etc. But what is glaringly deficient right now are the areas that I would want to strongly recommend for the Minister and his Secretary, and also the Health Minister and his Secretary, to immediately resource and immediately expand. Number 1, Papua New Guinea NOPS services, NOPS, National Orthodontic and Prosthetic Services. Very limited. This is where the wheelchairs and the legs, arms, and these are developed. There's one in Ley, one in Port Moresby General Hospital. But through you, Assistant Speaker, Minister, we need to multiply this important service, preferably across the country, and encourage the private sector to invest in this important NOP service for prosthetic services, because this is lacking, and many of our physically disabled citizens are staying in the houses and not many wheelchairs are circulating, etc., etc. And I strongly also recommend the University of Technology to design, using appropriate technology, the right types of limbs and wheelchairs for our people to be moved. It doesn't require a lot of services. The technology is available and they can do a lot of things. So unfortunately, there is a lack of NOP services, NOPS, in short services in our country. The second biggest shortage in our country, Mr. Assistant Speaker, is the lack of physiotherapists in the country. We as a country have not trained sufficient physiotherapists to take care of this category of citizens. And so it can be done very, very easily. Just get the funding done to the required training institutions, and we can actually triple the number of physiotherapists in the country within the next 5 years. So, Assistant Speaker, if the Minister and his colleague ministers, the Minister for Higher Education, work on this and specifically fund for more physiotherapists in this country. The third area that I strongly recommend is there are only a few blind centers in the country, one in Goroka run by the churches, and one here in Port Moresby, and little one in Hohola. But we need to also expand this, because these services are very, very vital, but many of us have ignored them over the years. And with the passing of the bill now, it gives us the encouragement and incentive and the legal basis to strongly recommend to provide the little bit of funding that is needed to at least the accessibility of these services can be guaranteed. With that, I want to strongly recommend, through the Speaker, you are here now, and through the Prime Minister, I think the example set by some of the honorable members, like the Deputy Opposition Leader has just acknowledged that he has appointed a disabled person in the DDA. I think this is an opportunity for all of us at this level, that every DDA should have a disabled person represented. Provincial assemblies, Governor, you should appoint a disabled person to be a member of the Provincial Assembly. And I want to recommend through you, Mr. Speaker, perhaps we could invoke the constitutional provision 1 or 2 on the non-elected provision there. 2/3 absolute majority can vote to bring a disabled person on the floor of Parliament. These are leadership things that we can provide. Rather than we talk on the details, sometimes these laws cannot be administered or enforced. Like the PMBs we are talking about, the buildings that Minister for Commerce and Member for Sinasina are talking about. It will take time to, but these things we can do immediately. Imagine tomorrow we invoke Section 1 or 2 of the Constitution on non-elected members, and 2/3 of us vote, and then we bring somebody here on the floor of Parliament. Imagine all the governors, you make a decision to bring a disabled member on the floor of the Provincial Assembly. Imagine all of us, follow some of you, bring in the DDA, appoint a disabled person. That makes a lot of impact. Because then at the highest level, we have recognized these important citizens that have been ignored. And therefore, proudly congratulate the Minister. Well done. Thank you for your secretary and everybody that is working very hard to bring this important bill. And I hope and pray that this bill will now bring in the much-needed services that this group of citizens have lacked for many, many years. God bless us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.